Right. And I think he's going to put it back.
It looks worse.
So kind of similar to that, but he plans to use this every year.
Oh, awesome, thank you.
$3,000-4,000. Met a couple times, just going to be done before.
Okay, Brian. 6:30, call the meeting to order. Certify compliance with the open records law.
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hayden.
Here?
Councilmember Hooker.
Yeah, here.
Councilmember Menke.
Yes.
Councilmember Raisler.
Here.
Councilmember Weisenbeck.
Here.
Councilmember Weisapple.
Here.
All six are here.
Next, we have the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, would somebody like to make a motion to adopt the agenda?
I will make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. It is adopted. Next, we move on to public comments. It's an opportunity for anybody in the public to speak on anything that's on the agenda. The only thing, the public hearing on the liquor license obviously has its own public hearing. If anybody wants to speak concerning that subject, they can do it at that time. So right now, I'd like to open it up to public comments. If anybody would like to speak, please do so. Please identify yourself for the record.
My name is Dan Langwise with the Swim Club. I would just, I see it's towards the end of the meeting, the update on the Durand Park swimming pool. I would just like to comment, because I don't know if that's going to be covered in that section, just about the possibility based on what happened during the last bid cycle, that there can't be some public input from local contractors that have a lot of experience with projects this size. So we want a really good second bid cycle. We did have a meeting a couple of weeks ago with Bob Comroe, the mayor, Scott Rasmussen. I thought it was excellent. Just an example, a classic example of a local business person that would be gladly help with such a project on the second cycle. So I just hope that that's covered, you know, when we give the update on the Durand Park pool. We want to maximize our possibilities for success on this, and we really want to do a bang-up job on this second cycle. So Bob has a lot of expertise along with other people, Kyle Hagness and the like. So sure. I just want to make sure that we make that clear right now. Thank you.
Okay, and I'll respond to that actually right now. The discussion tonight is specifically with our engineering contract. This is just the design part of it. Once the council makes a decision tonight, after that's presented to us, and that's why it's on the agenda, the meeting that you are talking about is the one that we're going to plan. But we wanted to make sure that we had made our decision with our engineering firm concerning some things about how we're going to go forward with them, and that's what leads us to, and the community members that you're talking about, that's when we'll plan the meeting. But we wanted to get through tonight, then we'll plan the meeting. So just to let you know.
Thank you.
That's what we're at. Okay, would anybody else like to speak? Hearing none, we have no scheduled appearances. The consent agenda. The following matters may be acted upon by the City Council utilizing a single vote. Individual items which any member wishes to address in greater detail or as a separate item on the regular agenda may be removed from the consent agenda upon the request of any council member. We have the minutes from the regular City Council member from July 12, 2023. Bartender license for Jamie L. Plaff at the Durand Fresh Market, Marilyn Monteo, and Justin Lowenhagen at the Durand Travel Stop. We also have a picnic license request for Blues on the Chippewa, August 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 2023, and a temporary bartender's license for Faith H. Owelling for the Blues on the Chippewa event.
Everything is fine.
Okay. Would somebody like to make a motion concerning the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion is agreed to. Next, we have a public hearing. The purpose of this public hearing is for a combination Class B liquor and fermented malt beverage license for the Corral Riverside Incorporating, doing business as the Corral Bar and Riverside Grill. Owners Amy and Russell Hunter at 318 West Main Street. I'll hereby declare the public hearing open. If anybody would like to speak concerning this liquor license request, the floor is open. Again, if anybody would like to speak concerning this combination Class B liquor and fermented malt beverage license, this is your opportunity. Hearing none, I hereby declare the public hearing closed. Next, we'll move on to the business agenda. Administration, Mayor's report. Just a few things to talk about. First of all, I know the chief will talk a little bit more about National Night Out coming up next week already. Do encourage, it'll be at the Bowerville Sports Complex again. Do encourage council members if you can stop on it. It's a great event, a lot of things going on. Great for the kids and the families and everything. It's a wonderful event. And again, he'll have some more details on that. Also like to congratulate all the folks with the fishing contest. I see it's underway. I saw a number of some things up on social media and some talked to some parents about out there already what their kids doing. And we're wishing all the kids best out fishing this week as the fishing contest is moving forward for another year. Also, as we've already approved for the picnic license for Blues on the Chippewa, of course that's just a few weeks away. Do wish the Blues Committee a lot of luck as usual, great event, and look forward to all the visitors coming from out of town. So again, that's what I have in my report. Anybody have any questions? Hearing none, nothing came off the consent agenda. Administrator's report. Administrator Rasmussen.
A couple things as well. One item that we've been talking about a little bit internally and certainly more at the staff level and a little bit with the school district is after essentially we went through the dog park discussion regarding Hanson Park. Recall that as part of that deed, that land was basically deeded to the city back in 2001 to be used as a city park. It's been 22 years in a sense that's been put forward and not much has happened with that property. One of the things that we were approached, well, I wouldn't say approached, but we had discussions with the school district. If there's any possibility of potentially, as part of that deed was that the city wasn't going to use it as a park, it would revert back to the school. And frankly, the school has some interest in potentially developing that property. Just kind of, we had some internal discussions, Mayor and I and others. Our attorney has a resolution written up that will be discussed at the next council meeting. Basically potentially going that route. So I just frankly, again, discussing with the mayor, we wanted to get that out there a bit in advance of next the meeting in a couple of weeks. My guess is the mayor and Brian will probably talk about it after the meeting a little bit, and we'll kind of go from there. But so that's basically on the will be on the docket next time. A couple things that came out of the last meeting. Obviously, we heard from Mike Norby and the Fun Fest group regarding some of their concerns regarding the lot that was sold up here. Mike and I and the group are meeting next Monday. We had a nice, good discussion early, and just again that we're gonna try to work through these things. If the goal is to keep Fun Fest in Memorial Park, again, I think we can accommodate in that in some ways, closing additional streets down, things of that nature that I'm sure Public Works and Public Safety staff can help with as well. So those discussions are ongoing. And another ongoing discussion that Councilmember Hayden is involved in is obviously we were all concerned about the potentiality of the library contract and the school district and what basically opening that up. And frankly, I think Administrator Doverspike was very clear. They weren't looking to just cut it, but there are some things that they wanted to see changed. That meeting is also coming. That's next Monday as well, isn't it, Don?
Yes.
So again, I've had some more discussions with with both our library board president and library board staff and Administrator Doverspike. And again, I think we're heading in a good direction. So I would hope that we're going to hear some good things coming out of that meeting as well. Otherwise, I'll chime in on a number of other things later, but that's really all I have tonight.
I had a question about that property.
Mm-hmm.
What is the acreage on that property that you're talking about?
It was about 5, Matt?
5 acres, yeah.
5 acres. And it's been on the docket for 22 years?
Well, it's been the city's property since 2001.
Okay.
There was formerly, it was called the Ag Farm. A lot of us said when we were in high school, it was a lot bigger. There was quite a bit of acreage there. That was the FFA and the Ag students used for different things. And the decision was made to sell it, and they sold off to about 2 other landowners, and then the 5 acres was donated to the city with the intention of using it for a park.
Mm-hmm.
And when the decision was made, not that we're, and again, since I've been mayor for 12 years, I mean, we've been, it's always been, we've talked about a lot of things, the dog park possibilities and so on and so forth. And then the feeling was about, and again, the deed says right on it, if we decide we're not gonna use it for a park, it goes back to the school.
Right.
It's very specific. It has to be used for a park. If not, it goes back to school. So our idea was to get it back to the school, let them sell it, and then hopefully develop some housing there, because that's obviously the city's in dire need of housing. So that was the thought train. The resolution that has been drawn up by our legal counsel, it's pretty short,
Pretty straightforward. right?
straightforward. It's
Yeah.
basically saying and this was given to us in this particular thing, and we're just gonna execute a quick claim deed to return it to the property of the Durand, Arkansas School District.
And they can sell it and use it for anything
At
they
that
want?
point, they can do whatever they want with it.
Very good.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Next we'll have discussion possible action regarding a Class B fermented malt beverage and liquor license for the Corral Riverside LLC, doing business as the Corral Bar and Riverside Grill, owner Amy and Russell Hunter at 318 West Main Street. As you know, it was up for public hearing here a little while ago. The Berger family, that presently the owners, have decided to sell to actually a niece, I believe. Amy is a niece, and they were, and her husband, and they'll be taking over August the 1st, if everything goes according to what we knew. The applicants are not here tonight. They did, I think they had some things out of town, they weren't able to be here. But any other questions concerning the application?
So it's just a change of ownership, basically?
Just to change your ownership.
Okay.
What I've been told anyway, the operations are gonna be pretty much very
Pretty much the
similar to
same.
what was it, that's what I've been told by a few folks.
Okay.
Okay, would somebody like a motion regarding this liquor license application?
I'll make a motion that we grant the liquor license to the new owners.
I'll second.
We have a motion and second to grant the Class B fermented malt beverage and liquor license. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Those say no. Motion's agreed to. Next, move on to Public Safety, Police Department. Monthly update, Chief?
Yeah, I just have a couple of things. The mayor hit on National Night Out next Tuesday, 5 to 8. It'll be a free community picnic. We'll be serving hot dogs from Maloney's and pulled pork from the Durand Smokehouse. Bring your families out. There's no charge for this event. We're going to have the Sheriff's Department there, Health Department will be there, Wisconsin State Patrol, ourselves. Chief Deputy Matt Racer is going to be doing a drone demonstration this year for us. We're going to put the video up on the big screen so people will be able to see what the drone is seeing and do some demonstrations with the drone so they'll be able to see that program. We're going to be having a table set up for our therapy dog program and try to educate the public a little bit more on what our therapy dog program is and how we're going to utilize it here in Durand. So it should be a great night. The kids usually have fun at those events. NTEC sponsored a bouncy house again for the kids to jump in. So we're looking to have a good night. Hopefully the weather cooperates for us, and hopefully we can see a lot of people there again this year. Speaking of the therapy dog program, Brandon and I met with the school board this 2 weeks ago now, and they did approve for Brandon to have the therapy dog in the school. So they were completely okay with it. They were supportive of our program, and so now he's just going to work with the admin team on how it's going to be utilized. And we're still working on sending out donation letters. We just got started on that. We've gotten some good news from a dog trainer up in Eau Claire. They're looking at potentially donating some of the training to us for our program as well. So that was good to hear. Still working on some other donations regarding food and vet care. So we're still working on that program. And then the last thing I have, in June I attended EMR classes at CDTC, did finish that program, and I've been working now with the ambulance for about a week or so, and so we'll be doing that as well on the side, but I did successfully complete the EMR program through CDTC. So, and, That's all I have, unless anybody has any questions.
Are you going to be playing kickball this year?
We're not. We're going doing just the drone demonstration this
Okay.
year. So don't tell the kids that. They might not want to show up if we don't play kickball. But we figure we're gonna probably not have enough time this year with the drone demonstration and everything. So, we got some things in mind for this fall to play with the kids with some maybe some flag football and kickball. We're kind of planning some community nights at the park and things. So we got some things we're going to do this fall with the kids regarding kickball and maybe some flag football as well. So.
Stan, you should bring them popsicles to the pool tomorrow. It's going to be hot.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet.
You
this
haven't
year.
yet. It's going to be hot.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to talk.
No. Well, if it's popsicles. Okay, any other questions for the chief? Not discussion possible action regarding the special event, open container application for Blues on the Chippewa. Again, this is sort of becoming a pretty standard thing, chief, if you want to talk.
Yeah, I did. I saw in the application that they put their end times at midnight. I just reiterate, let's just go from the start of Blues to the end of Blues, so there aren't any time restrictions to make it easier for our public to understand the rules. So that would be the only thing I had regarding that application, would be to start on Thursday and end at bar time on Sunday morning.
And
Bar time Monday.
Sunday, because it only goes to.
Because it only goes to.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
3 days. Sunday's cut out.
And then whoever makes the motion contingent on an organizational meeting between Scott, Matt, and I, and the bar owner, so.
Somebody like to make a motion concerning the open container application.
I'll make a motion to approve the open container application for Blues in the Chippewa contingent upon the meeting and changing the times from open to bar close Sunday morning.
Second. We have a motion and second. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion's agreed to, application is approved. Next, I have discussion possible action regarding special event street closure request for Blues on the Chippewa. Chief or Matt, which one do you want? Same as last year.
Same as last year,
Yeah.
everything's good for me.
Same with the public safety.
Okay. Any questions concerning the street closure request?
Does the time need to be changed on that too? It just says midnight.
Yeah, you could go to 2 AM, I guess, but they generally have it clean. You open the roads up. You open the road up right after the concert Saturday night?
I don't open nothing up there.
Right. Once they have the roads clear,
I
they
think
move
they,
the
I think they
signs,
go
right?
out there and do the signs
Right.
over after the
Okay.
concert.
Yeah, so maybe till bar close.
Yeah,
That'd be the only-
it could go that entire time until midnight on the 5th. They have it from 4 to 12.
Well, actually, no, mine is, this is crossed off and says that. From 8 AM on 8/3 to 8/5 at midnight.
It does say.
Yeah, it says that.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the special event street closing for Blues on Chippewa.
Second.
We have a motion second to approve the special event street closure for Blues. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those say no. Request is granted. Next, we move on to the fire department. Of course, the chief was here last time and had his our monthly report. Anything else? Ambulance, the same situation. We had one of the directors here. Anything else to add for ambulance?
Stan added his piece, and we did get another application as well from a member that's already qualified.
Oh, that's good.
Good news there.
Next, we move on to Public Works Utilities. The engineer, Russ, is not here. We'll move on to the monthly update.
Yes. A couple things, 12th Ave, start with 12th Avenue East update. Next level came in, subcut, got the rock in, poured curb and gutter Monday morning, letting curb and gutter cure out.
Next level will be back in Monday to start dirt restoration, get some of the restoration cleaned up, and blacktop is scheduled around the middle of August. Take that week of the 15th. That's the rest of the schedule for that. The 3rd Avenue and Main Street storm sewer was fixed last Monday as well. We dug down, found that it was basically ruptured by a fiber line that was drilled in years ago. That line going from there up towards Madison Street was abandoned in the Madison Street project anyway. So basically what we did is we capped it going up towards Madison Street, put a structure in, tied the structure into the pipe going to the river, and tied the catch basin back in. And we will be blacktopping that and putting curb and gutter in that here in the middle of August as well.
So, just a quick question on that. So they drilled into it to put the fiber optics in?
When they drilled their fiber optics in, they just must have caught the top of the pipe. The fiber is actually not in it. So when the drill head went through, it must have nicked and cracked the top of the pipe.
Okay.
So over time, that the pipe was cracked. It didn't actually go through it. So over time, the pipe cracked a little bit more and then slowly started to seep in, and then dirt just kind of slowly started to fall into the pipe.
And it's an abandoned line?
Yes.
Okay.
From that point towards Madison Street, it is abandoned, yes. Moving on to the swimming pool. Through the month of June, we were using / losing 15,000 gallons a day. That was a calculation through June. That's roughly, compared to last year, about 75,000 gallons more total for the month of June than we used in last year in 2022. I do not have July's numbers. I'll have July's numbers when we read on the 1st of August. The pool so far has been running smooth. We got our last chemical deliveries last week and into this week. The mechanical room, we are experiencing some more leaks in the plumbing on the furnace. They're getting a little worse as the summer goes on. The pool is scheduled. We're going to try to stay open until the 11th, August 11th. The 11th, 12th, or 13th is one of those 3 days, going to be our last days. We're working on scheduling with the lifeguards. They're all in sports, so they all have volleyball starting up. They have football starts up here on Monday, I believe. So we're trying to work through their schedules with sports and their availability and some last minute vacations. School actually starts on the 22nd, so if we can get to the 13th, it'll just be that next week with no pool, and then we're back into school. So it would close essentially a little over 8 days before school starts here in Durand. So that's the plan, but tentatively we're going to try to get to the 13th, but it might be the 11th or the 12th schedule pending. Swimming lessons are wrapping up. Tomorrow will be the last day for the second session. They got them all in. The swim instructors did an excellent job as usual. No issues that have been brought to my attention.
And what was our total count for swim lessons this year?
See, this round was 70 and the first round was like 160, so.
So 200.
Some repeat customers.
So,
Yeah, yeah, we had some that doubled up.
Just one more day.
yeah, doing something like that.
One more day.
Other than that, that's my report unless you have any questions, other than what's on the agenda.
Any other questions for Superintendent Gillis? Okay, hearing none, we'll have an update on the Tarrant Park Swimming Pool project, and then some discussion, possible action. So just to bring everybody up to date where we're at here, the council had agreed that we would go back out to bids. I mean, that's a decision that's already been made here. So, and we said that we would do it sometime after the 1st of August, correct? That's what was stated. What the council wanted was Matt to go to US Aquatics, because again, we're looking at all of our options when it comes to the pool. And the question is about if we go back out to bids when we say exactly what we're doing or what the cost would be to make changes in those. And that's sort of the decision that's on the board in front of us tonight, correct, Matt?
Correct.
No. The idea was that we would make our decision on that. And then, as we said, of course, we have some folks from the swim club here tonight. As we said, then we would have the meeting with some representative swim clubs, some of those local folks, contractors and so on and so forth, to sit down with those. So basically Matt present what US Aquatics told us, we'll have a discussion and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so after the last meeting, we talked about rebidding this out and just to refresh everybody's memory in a couple different ways. You wanted to bid the concession stand as an alternate, and you wanted to bid the shade structures as alternates, the tot slides and bubble jets and climbing wall as alternates, and we were going to bid a different furnace as an alternate. So those 4 things are going to get bid as alternates. US Aquatics has said they will, so in order to alternate that stuff out, we have to change our plan sets. So for the building, you have the plan set right now that has the concession stand in it. To bid it as an alternate, we have to have a plan set without the concession stand, because we have to change load-bearing walls, we have to change structure, so we have to re-architect that to basically conform with state code with no concession stand.
One quick question, man.
Yes.
It's only the concession stand work. The other stuff are just,
Yes,
it's just,
so, yeah, I'll get to all of that stuff.
Okay, okay.
So, the concession stand work, has to be redesigned. We have to take out some stuff from the pool, but US Aquatics is going to do all the pool stuff for nothing. Cedar Corp is going to do all their site civil review for nothing. US Aquatics farms out the architect and the mechanical and plumbing. So we have to pay the architect and the mechanical and plumbing engineers to basically redo the building portion of the concession stand so that we can have 2 clean sheets. In order to get the best bid, you want everything to be defined, you want everything to be clear. Okay? If we tried to leave the concession stand in there and then take it out after the fact, we'd get change ordered to death. We'd still have to have an architect or an instructional engineer come in, you'd be paying for that twofold at a later date. So the cost, even though there's a little cost associated, which I'll get to redo the plans, it's going to be far cheaper to do it ahead of time than to try to do it after the fact. So Hay Dobbs and ARI are our architect and our mechanical, electrical and plumbing subcontractors. So we pay US Aquatics and US Aquatics pays them. They are asking for $6,500 to essentially redo their plan sheets so that we have 2 bidding documents to bid off.
I just have a quick question. When you say take the concession stand out, is that load-bearing walls built around that?
Yeah, so the end of the concession stand is the end of the building, which is all your load-bearing wall.
Okay,
So now we would essentially
move that in?
move that in.
Gotcha.
So in the walls that were in there, we're not load-bearing and we're kind of offset. So we got to basically re-engineer that end of the building.
and when you had met with some local folks concerning this issue,
Yes.
when we had talked about it, is the projected savings.
The projected savings when we met with local individuals would be roughly $50,000. And confirmed that with US Aquatics over the last couple weeks, anywhere from 45 to 65 was their projection as well.
The intention would be that we would issue, we got the other set of plans without a concession stand,
Correct.
And then whenever we got to that thing about, the intention would be that we would put the bid out for both?
So you would, when you go out to bid, you're gonna have the concession stand, and then the concession stand would be an alternate on the side. So you're gonna have the
Okay, it'll still be
building.
considered an alternate,
It'll
yes.
still be considered an alternate,
Yeah.
but they'll just have a set of plans to bid off with no concession stand, and then they'll have the set of plans to bid off with the concession stand, and then that extra money will be your alternate, So you'll have a bid with no concession stand, and then you'll have a bid with concession stand. So you'll know what the difference is between concession stand and no concession stand. That's the only way to do it clear and least cost effective. We have to redo the plans. I've talked to multiple companies. You know, I talked to Russ a lot about it. I talked to US Aquatics. I talked to two of the builders that bid the project last year, and they all were saying the best route to go, it would be to have the two separate separate contracts. It's not two separate bid documents. There'll be bidding documents and bidding contracts. It'll all be one bid. You'll see this with it'll come in on one line that was without a concession stand and one line with a concession stand, and then you'll know the difference between the two, and then you pick option A or option B.
And also as a reminder, there just isn't a lot of other things that we need to potentially cut out of the building. Again, everything is dictated by state code for what we have to have for locker space and bathrooms, obviously handicap accessibility, things of those nature, and then the mechanical area, just kind of a set thing. So again, when we talked to some local people that went through and that initial bid of 1.237 million for that building, and again, say this on blue in the face, I drive by there twice a day. I can't believe that structure is gonna cost that much. But again, the experts looked at it and said, maybe save you $50,000, $60,000.
Well, actually,
So we're gonna try to, we're gonna try.
Local
Yeah.
Durand contractors
Right.
told us there was nothing to be saved. That bid that you got last year, the only thing you're saving is taking the concession stand.
So $50,000 is all we can cut off the total price, basically. Outside of removing the structures, which we're gonna get in the future anyways.
But the 50 is finished. Like, the inside of the concession would be finished, sinks, all that stuff. I'm assuming, right?
Just sinks and countertops.
So my point-
You would have to go back out, get all your freezers, and go back out and
So
get all that stuff to stock it.
If we went to bid with the concession stand but didn't finish the inside until maybe later, is there a savings there?
The only thing you're saving is
There's no point
sinks
to-
and a countertop.
There's no point to build it, leave it empty until you have it in one.
Yeah, the only thing you're saying, because you still have all the electrical, you still have all the plumbing, you still have all of that stuff that's going in. So the only thing you're saving is sinks and countertop. You still have the roll-up doors, you have 90+% of it in there, other than the countertops and the sinks.
But once it's built, assuming they wanted to add it on 10 years, it would be an exceptional amount,
This
if
would be,
possible at all.
the best way to answer these questions is to bid this out as an alternate, so you'll know that this is what it's gonna cost us to build the concession stand, this is what it's gonna cost us not to build the concession stand. And then I can sit here and tell you it's 50, it's 60, it's 75. Right now, everybody's just giving me estimates, and I don't know what happens to estimates.
So it's gonna cost $6,500 to see if we can save $60,000 roughly.
You bet.
Okay. How about Joe's hot dog stand that you just wheel in there?
Yeah, they can wheel right in there, so hot dogs all day long. As long as they get a peddler's license, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But regardless, we have to bid it without, because the only bid we have is with.
Correct.
So regardless, we gotta spend the $6,500 for Joe to wheel the hot dog stand in. I mean,
Yeah.
And then, as we said, that once this decision is made tonight, and then the meeting with a couple people from the swim club and the other local contractors, since we'll have the plan, so the council wants to go bid it as extra or not, then we'll look at the other parts of it to put this together before we actually put out the final bids, to work with those folks. Gary?
May I ask a question?
Yes, Gary, go ahead.
Matt, this is more for Matt. That was alternate one on the concession stand. Was alternate two considered for them, like the climbing wall, the shade structures and that type of thing? Is that another alternate?
Yeah, there'll be 4 total alternates. You have alternate 1's a concession stand, alternate 2 would be shade structures, alternate 3 would be climbing wall and the tot slide, the play features, and then alternate 4 would be the ferns. So there'll be 4 different.
So it should almost be
alternates.
like all a carte, sort of, how it's gonna be bid out, right?
Yep, you bid it out that way, then we'll sit here and say, yep, we want the concession stand bid, we don't want the concession stand bid. We like the numbers with the shade structures, we'll take the shade structures. So basically, you're gonna get to pick and choose what you want to maximize your dollars.
Were those, Matt, all under, except for the concession stand, all the other shade structures and that type of thing, is that all under aquatics contract?
Yeah, yes.
What was the total value of that?
It's in my office, I don't have it in front of me. Roughly was gonna be probably about $75,000 with the 4 structures. The shade structures, like the umbrella ones, weren't the biggest cost. The biggest cost was gonna be like I'm gonna call it a pergola that we were gonna build over in the corner.
For shade?
Yeah, for shade was what was gonna cost the most. So, and that'll all be rolled under one add-on, alternate.
It's my feeling in the future that those parts and pieces of those alternates can be added in by the community a whole heck of a lot easier and cheaper than a contract.
And then just so everybody's under the same page, we're still gonna put the plumbing in the ground, we're still gonna put the bases in the ground.
So you
just
don't-
can go and buy
you don't
the
want
stuff
to-
at a later
yeah.
date. So there would be no having to dig up the deck, and there would be having to add plumbing or anything. All of that stuff would be in there. You would just essentially buy the play feature and then mount it. Or buy the shade structure and mount it.
And
So-
just to be crystal clear, there's no additional cost to those elements.
Yeah, so.
You know, that's already built in, it's just,
US
obviously there's no
Yeah.
changes to the structure.
US Aquatics will divvy all that stuff
Sure,
out
sure.
essentially for nothing on their portion of it. But we've tried, I've talked to Hay Dobbs and ARI as well as Rick from US Aquatics, and we actually beat them down to this. So they want a little bit more, but this is what we got them down to.
In any other, as I said, before we actually go out send the actual bids, those other folks, those community folks, as far as anything else that we can do to help that, obviously, we're gonna try to do that. The big question is tonight about, are we gonna get a second set of plans that doesn't include a concession stand? Really, that's what and it's gonna cost us $6,500 to do that.
Correct.
And I know I said I'll talk about the concession stand. I don't think it's as necessary, especially when we got so many places that obviously offer food and stuff. And it'd be nice to have, but it also has to be staffed. It also has to be, there's a lot of things that come into place when you do that.
So how many days out of the year does that pool actually open?
2.5 months.
2.5 months.
Basically, we open to the public as soon as school gets out. So it's usually right around the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th of June when we open to the public. And then, as you can see, we're always closing down somewhere around the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th of August. So basically, not quite 2.5 months, but 2.5 months.
Does the pool carry itself financially?
Absolutely not.
The cost of the city is about $50,000 a year.
Could it be open longer? I mean, a new pool is going to bring hopefully more staff and more options, right? I mean, so
Unless your staff is gonna be employees that are not school-age children or college children, there's no way it can stay open. So unless you're gonna find 18-plus old people that don't have to go to school during the day, there's no way it can stay open.
Can I talk for a second? Nick, as an employee, I'm a WSI certified swimming instructor. And I did it at 47 years old because they were always begging for more people to come. We only have 5 certified lifeguards, and 4 of them are in high school. Sarah's the only one that can work till September 2nd, and I'm not a lifeguard.
And I guess my point being was because the uncertainty of it opening or closing, whatever, maybe
Yeah.
would bring more people like yourself.
I hope.
I mean,
Well,
And I talked to my
agree.
whole level
I think
6
that's the
today.
intention, is that maybe we can expand our staff, and there's, especially if they know that we've got this new facility, we've got this facility that can offer more and different things like that, I mean, I think would open up.
if it doesn't, it doesn't, but it might.
You might. And I talked to my level 6 kids today. I'm like, you want to be a lifeguard? This is what you have to do. Let's keep swimming, and you can do this. You can apply to be a bathhouse at 14, and you can help me with swimming lessons at 14. So I try.
And clearly it's a challenge. It's a challenge for every business.
Every city.
My goodness, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
whether
pools
we're talking
across, pools across the country,
or any
across
other
the state, I
business.
mean, there are
Yeah.
some that have very limited hours and very,
Yeah.
because of that.
But I think, again, you've heard Matt and I talk about this before, the newness of the new facility and the promise of, hey, if you can give us 4 years, we'll guarantee a job for 4 years of high school.
And I just want to kind of make the point too of us not doing it to, I mean, yeah, it'd be awesome to break even, but I think the benefits to the community are the safety of kids not swimming in the river, the kids getting swimming lessons, so, for us to ensure that for $50,000 a year, I think that's a pretty darn good investment.
And there's no pool that's even coming close to break even.
Yeah.
So,
And that's true across the country. Municipal pools don't make money, it is what it is. And for the size of our community, because I remember, Eau Claire did a big study, and back about 10 years ago, we were average as far as what it cost us to operate the pool. And you're absolutely right. I mean, look at the 200-some kids who went through swimming lessons. I mean, each one of those kids that learned how to swim, that keeps that family, everybody a little safer, and gives them the opportunity to be a beginner.
I mean, we all have aspirations,
Sure.
but aspirations and reality don't always mix. Like unless we get, unless you're turning this into, you get an 18, 19, 20-year-old, we're never staying open past the 10th or the 11th or 12th of August. That's reality because all of our kids are high school students.
Although we can guarantee them a job and guarantee them some stuff. As we said, and again, you got to see it to make it happen. But you're right. I think it's a better opportunity with the new facility than,
It's schools starting earlier now than it was 3, 4, 5 years ago. I mean, back, exact years ago, they were starting after Labor Day. Now they're creeping, they seem to be creeping out into August even more and more and more and more, which
Yeah,
just
it used
cuts
to
the
be-
swimming, which cuts the swimming.
we always started in
time.
August, and then they passed that one state law that we have Labor Day. And then, of course, now everybody can ask for an exemption to that, and they can start, and more schools are doing that, so. Anyway, okay, so let's get back to the subject. We have the numbers. So as I said, from here, we'll make a decision on this, and then we'll plan that next meeting, and we'll, at that point, I'll instruct between Matt and Scott to track those folks down, and let's see if we can get them here at the same time, so.
So do we need a motion to do the 6,500?
Well, here's the situation is, we would have to have a motion right now to say that we're going to spend the extra 6,500 for the second set. I mean, that's basically what we're gonna do. If we don't do that, then we're bidding it with, as we did before, as it included. So basically, that's the decision, and then we'll plan the next meeting.
Is that city money? Because we're the,
In this case, we're probably talking city, yeah.
Can we use ARPA funds for that? We still have some money to spend.
I think we could. Well, here's one way we could do it. I mean, I guarantee to do it. If we donated the money to the pool group, and then they pay for it. Using
Are there
our
ARPA
funds, that would for sure fly. Yeah.
So there's a way around.
Yeah, and again, I'd have to dig into the details a little bit more to see if we could direct pay it, but yeah. So, and again, in the past, I mean, so all of these other bid documents, all the work that US Aquatics has done and Cedar Port has done, has come from the donations. So, it's close, so. But if that's the route that we wanted to go,
We can do it. Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
The follow-up question is, how long does it take them to get those together?
I talked to them yesterday. We believe that we can have this all prepared and ready to go out to bid around the 15th of August, and then bring it.
By the 15th, but we had talked about having that meeting with those local folks about, before we go out.
They're gonna need a couple weeks to put this together, so if you want.
Okay, that's what, you know what I'm asking, a couple weeks to put together to say that we would plan something around the second week in August
Yeah,
or
they
something
need a
like
couple
that,
weeks to put
and then
it
we
together.
would do that, so, okay, that's
You
what
could
I was
also
saying.
have that meeting while they're out for bid, couldn't you?
I think we wanted to talk about before we went, how, and to deal with those before.
Okay.
I think that was the general
I
feeling.
mean, the only thing too, though, is that can't make a lot of changes, you know, once they have the plans. and
I know, I
start
said,
making
and I think we
changes,
understand
so,
about the plans, but I think there's something about the operation, the way we're gonna bid it and how things are gonna go. As far as, and whether we're going to get some assistance from some folks and that type of thing. That's what I'm more aiming for here.
Because the other discussion with that is, I mean, it's not like a ton is changing here. Yeah, the building's shortening a little bit, and obviously there's details in the plans, but the general concept of what the pool's gonna look like is really not changing much.
No, but again, but we'll have all those options in there, that's the thing. And we had one more in there, and that's what we're trying to do here. Here to do that. Okay?
I have one more question, probably for the swim club. Has there ever been any talk of competitive swimming?
I think that would probably come from the third party from the school district.
Yeah.
Generally, you know, most, you have your city rec programs, but on the competitive swim side, that's probably, usually comes out of school districts, as far as I know. So that would have to be a question answered by the administration there.
I'm just asking if you guys ever heard anything like that. Nothing like that.
To better answer your question.
I know,
This
but-
pool cannot do
understand that, 'cause I
competitive
looked at the-
swimming, and
yeah.
it's not legal for competitive swimming.
I understand that.
Yeah,
I was just asking.
to throw that out there,
Yeah.
this pool can't have
I
competitive.
don't know if there would be any money available for a competitive swimming pool or not, because that changes the whole thing.
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay.
I don't think, it wouldn't have changed anything, would you? So,
We couldn't put a competitive pool in there and achieve the things that we wanted to achieve in this design.
No, I understand. Yeah, it's a
And
totally
there
different
wasn't any
thing.
money for competitive pools either.
Yep.
There's
And we
no
have to
money at all.
have at least 9 feet for diving, and you have to have 9 feet for diving levels 3 through 6 for swimming lessons.
okay. Okay, any more discussion concerning this? Would somebody like to make a motion? Or not make a motion?
So can I just clarify one thing? So the past stuff has been from donations. Are we to the point we asked them about the $6,500, or is this, we'll work out the details later? How does that work? Because that's what was said, right? They donate, the donations paid for
At
the
this point
first.
here, I mean,
But we
city-
don't, the
there's
city
money
donates ARPA funds to the swim club so they can.
just to cover this
essentially pay for it.
particular part of it, since we're making.
Because we're
I
not
think
sure
that's
if
where-
ARPA funds
Or
can.
they pay for it, we don't donate the funds. I guess that's my question.
Oh, okay.
Because did they donate, is that
Well-
what happened the first time it went out for bid?
Well, I think they maybe be partially clear too, Nick, back to your question is, I guess, if this gets covered through the swim club, that's just $6,500 less
Right.
that goes towards the overall project anyway, so.
So, if there was another way we could pay for it, that would help.
Okay. Makes sense.
Okay, any more discussion? Would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we go out for bid the new way without, how do you say, without concession stand, with all the other options.
Concession stand is an alternate.
Because
Yeah, with
concession
those-
stand is an alternate, yeah.
Just basically, I just need a motion to amend, the U.S. Aquatic Services by $6,500.
Oh, okay, no, that's right, just amending it, yeah.
Just amending the U.S. Aquatics agreement by $6,500.
So,
I'll make that motion.
make them, there's a second.
I'll second
A second, okay. But that's right, you, all I was amending something, that's right.
Could have said that earlier.
Don't wanna help.
Sorry.
That's a long way around.
Okay, is there any more discussion? Hearing none, involves money, so we'll have a roll call, please.
Weisenbeck.
Yes.
Councilmember Weisapple.
Yes.
Councilmember Hayden.
Yes.
Councilmember Hooker.
Yes.
Councilmember Menke.
Yes, well then I watch.
Councilmember Raisler.
Yes.
All six in favor.
Okay, motion's agreed to. So what we'll do from this point forward, Matt, if you get this information to them, I mean, you basically have, you just say go ahead, right?
Yeah, I just gotta sign the contract.
Sign it with the change in it and so on and so forth. And then at that point, once you get the ETA concerning the changes, and then once we know that date, we'll make the contacts with those other folks about the meeting to talk about the other things, and we'll see what works out. Hopefully, we can find a time where we can get them all here at the same time. I know they're busy, but hopefully we can do that. So,
Question?
yes, Gary, one question.
I would like to see this meeting with whoever you're gonna have and whatever the purpose of that meeting is, so we'll know what that purpose is. And I'd like to see that before the next council meeting that the council has in, when is it, August? Scott, when is that?
August 9th and the 23rd are meetings in August.
August 9th?
August 9th is our next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's possible, we could have that discussion with whoever you're gonna have a discussion with.
Sure.
And then we could give that, I mean, I don't think that's gonna impede anything on the bidding process, while the engineering company is making their changes to the contract.
Sure. Okay, and that's a possibility. We'll have to see. We'll start making those contacts and see when they're available.
See if they're available.
And see when they're available, and so on and so forth. But
Because I'd like that information to be for the council before the bid is let.
oh no, you're correct. No, Gary, you're right on that. Yes. Okay. Nothing else on that? Let's pay the bills. Speaking about meetings, any other committee meetings we need to schedule?
I'm still working on that variance piece for a couple of people. Specifically. Is that- Oh, no, I'm sorry, no, nothing grand yet, sorry.
You look like something going on.
No, no. Few messages, but nothing pertaining to that.
Oh, darn, okay.
And Nick, I think Saturdays sometimes up here because people are sorry with that. I'm still home Sunday, who knows? Depends.
I think Jenny and I are both excited to see it.
That's why I was.
Is business taking place within the city?
Oh, I get it. That's how you word it, right?
We didn't go any fishing. We got one place for sure, so, yeah.
Yep.
Married to Jamal from Rockwell. So that's the only other committee meeting at this point. Did we need anything else, public safety, anything? Chief, any public safety stuff coming up for a committee meeting or?
I don't think so.
He's gonna come to work first so we can discuss it. I think I missed this, how goes the efforts for the fishing down?
Not good. Only caught one today. Pretty slow.
Weather
I'm not a
issues,
fisherman, but I know it was too hot.
Yeah.
The fish were down, but they were.
I'll give this secret out because it was too short to even keep, but we were in Old Galley and there's a rock wall and there's kind of a tuck under, and Jace casted his bait under there, and this fish must have been tight up against a cool rock under the shade. It was the only fish we caught.
Nick, your kids do that?
They might, I mean, my son might like to, but I know nothing about it, so. Parenting fail on my part.
So when Eau Claire Fire and Rescue doesn't intercept, they bill the city?
Just give a side note.
And they only get a
Fire rescue
certain-
does anything, they bill. Yeah.
Well, I understand that.
we
They
bill-
only get a portion of
we-
whatever
so,
we
yeah,
receive.
exactly,
Yeah.
so-
They don't get the full
So they
amount.
get,
that
in that case, they get half of what we get.
Okay, so they get a portion of what we actually receive, so we're actually getting our money. We're just distributing their portion to
They bill us
them.
a lot more.
So we're not losing them. We're not, you know, oh
Okay.
my goodness, we only charge this, but we gotta pay the city.
Okay, that would make
That's the
sense.
agreement that we have with them, yeah.
Jenny's always got a note on there, okay, here's how much we pay them, we only receive a small portion of what they charge.
That it? For us, yep. Making sure I'm working neat.
I appreciate that.
Is there a way to start having some progressive discussions about like business park type things or business expansion, development? You know, I know we did the
We
one
just-
thing,
yeah.
That thing,
and then it just kind of went away. and
Well, COVID did, I guess, I think.
I just worry like we're not,
No, I
it's
don't.
kind of a big deal, and
Like to call the Economic Development Committee
how do
together?
we keep at least trying to move forward with thinking about something?
Yeah, we can call the Economic Development Committee, talk about some strategies, talk about, you know.
I don't know the answers, I'm just like.
No, I said, yeah, that's.
Having some intentional time talking about what could be done.
Oscar just change for
Saw that,
for their solid waste.
Put a note on
for their,
it.
for their,
I
plan.
remember to do it.
I wasn't exactly.
Osceola, yeah. Trying to set money back.
I can't tell during the presentation.
Or how much?
They didn't say.
Oh, yeah.
I was wondering.
No, I get it.
I can't imagine though it would be
Something like Gary would.
drastically bigger than like what Mondovi's
I was
would
gonna
be.
say, I wouldn't think so either, unless I know my movies was a little bit different, but, yeah.
It's normal.
What did Mondovi spend? What did Mondovi spend on a new plant?
Was it 7 plus?
7 what?
So,
You can times that by 3.
Yeah.
was it that much? Oh,
21 million?
Was it
About
really?
21 million.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, okay, well, then so yeah, $7 million is nothing to sneeze at,
Yeah.
it's only a third of the cost, yeah.
Okay, would somebody like to make a motion to
I'll make
approve
a
the
motion,
vouchers?
we approve the vouchers.
Second.
We have a motion second to approve the vouchers. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Weisenbeck.
Yes.
Councilmember Hayden.
Yes.
Councilmember Hooker.
Yes.
Councilmember Minke.
Yes.
Councilmember Raisler.
Yes.
Councilmember Whitesapple.
Yes.
6 in favor.
Motion's agreed to, vouchers are approved. Any other future items? Anything else coming up?
Nope.
Do that?
This
Next week?
meeting about contractors or whatever, any of us need to be at that.
I was hoping to get a couple council members, well, we can find out when we get there.
Will we all be at least invited?
Well, the only thing about it is we have to notice it.
Yeah, we notice it.
Yeah, we can notice it. We can
And
notice
then
it.
it's open to the public too.
No, I understand.
Just make.
Yeah.
Let's just see how we were doing it. Yeah. No, well,
I think it's a benefit to have it open to the public
Yeah.
though at this point, the more we can.
I think, yeah, it's a benefit to have it open to the swim group, so they get the same
Yes.
information all at once.
okay. When we get that plan, we'll get that figured out. Okay, if not, somebody make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.